Welcome everyone to Mongols Pregame'n Edition. This is where we spend a few minutes chatting with the team prior to the next matchup. Joining me for this one is a repeat pregamer this year. He's a former Hound star who is now halfway through his first season as a professional coach in the USL. It's Rob Vincent. Rob, thanks for coming back. How's it going, man?
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm good. Thanks for having me back. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. We have to address the elephant in the room right away. The team is clearly in a scoring rut. As a recent player, it seems like you're sort of uniquely positioned to address this from both the coaching and playing side of things. So, starting off as a coach, how do you think we get out of this?
It's there's no magic bullets. There's no kind of quick, easy fix. It's just a case of continuing to try and do the right things. Obviously, making little tactical tweaks here and there that we think can try and help. I don't think it's necessarily for a lack of creating chances recently. We've definitely had the chances, but I think sometimes when you go scoreless in a couple of games, it starts to play in the mind a little bit, and then all of a sudden that stretches out a little bit longer. So, I think we've got to keep trying to do the right things, keep trying to get in the right areas. One of them has to go on eventually. It's not going to go on forever. We have to just remember that. But again, just keep getting in the right areas, trust that somebody's going to take that chance. And like I say, I think the stats don't lie. I think that there's been games this year that we've done plenty enough to score goals, and they just haven't quite gone in. So I know, like I say, we'll keep trying to make little tweaks here and there, whether that be with personnel, whether that be with slight little system changes. But just sticking to the process, keep trying to do the right things. Guys getting their extra reps in training and getting what they need to feel good going into the weekend, and then hopefully this is the weekend where we can kind of crack that code. So
Now, putting on your player hat, what goes through your head when something like this happens, and sort of what's the best way through it as a player?
well, again, I think there's just that mental side of it that eats away at you. I think everybody's aware. Obviously, we hear the kind of background noise of that the amount of minutes we haven't scored, and it starts to eat away at you a little bit. But I think again, as a player, you just have to. And I think most of the guys do, to be honest. I think once you get out on the field, you're not really thinking about that. You're just trying to take each chance as it comes. But that's all you can do. Like I say, just trust in the work that you've done during the week. Trust in the work that you've done over your career. We have guys who can score goals. Yes, we don't necessarily have a proven 20, 25 goal a season striker, but we definitely have guys who can chip in and score here and there. So it's again, it's just continue to do the right things, and then keep that composure, keep that level head when you get inside the box, and whoever scores now is going to be the hero for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then, like I say, hopefully it starts rolling after that.
Yeah. Switching gears a bit, massive news about the club getting a USLW squad next year. The team was spreading the word a bit earlier this week about having some of the academy girls in training with the men's team this week. How do the girls do, and what do they think about training with the men's team?
Yeah, I think it was a great little initiative by the club. They're still actually in with us through tomorrow, so it's just exposing them to the professional environment. Obviously, we don't have a professional women's team here yet, so that's the closest that any of them have been able to get to see what it looks like on a daily basis, and then to integrate them into some of the session as well. They get to warm up with the guys. They've done some of the passing exercises with the guys. We've even dipped them into some of the earlier possession exercises too. So it's obviously something we've done throughout the years with the boys, the academy boys, and then some of these girls are really, really deserving of this opportunity. And again, obviously, as we look towards the W League next year as well, it just continues to give those girls something to aim for, and then again rewards the girls who've been doing really well. So it's been good. They're enjoying it. Obviously, dipping them into a little bit of possession is much faster and much more intense than anything they would have ever seen. So I think they deserve that little dip in, and then obviously as training progresses and we start getting a little bit more intense towards the end of the session, they can just kind of watch from the side and take it all in. So yeah, I think it's great. It's obviously girls that I've worked closely with over the past several years, so it's good to see them enjoying that experience.
I'm assuming, based on your experience with the academy, that just the thought of bringing a USLW team to this club, you're just buzzing, right? I mean, any thoughts on that? Yeah,
super excited. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, I've seen over the past few years, just there's clearly a hunger in the community to have a women's team. I know that speaking with fans and speaking with parents of families in the academy. So the desire is definitely there, and I'm glad we've been able to take that step. Obviously, I was involved last summer with the first kind of USL Academy girls team we had, which was kind of U20, U23. We saw some of our college-aged players come back in. So, we always have a huge demand of players who've gone through our academy, gone off to college. Even some players who've graduated college, they want to come back. They want to train in the summer before they go back to school. So it was a natural next step. But again, I think it's fantastic, and hopefully, I think the goal is to ultimately have two professional teams in Pittsburgh, both fighting it out over the full course of the year, and have that opportunity for fans to be able to see both of them play.
Has there been any conversations about potential collaboration between the management of the men's team and the women's team, or is that still sort of up in the air at this point?
I think that's up in the air. If those conversations have happened, I certainly haven't been part of them. I think again, it's still in the early stages. I certainly think right now it's more of an extension of the academy side of things.
Gotcha.
Because I think the men's team, we already have a slightly smaller staff, so I don't think there'll be any movement between coach and staff, so management there. But either way, it's fantastic, and like I say, hopefully it continues to grow and grow and grow, and we have two big time professional teams in Pittsburgh for years to come.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Back to the men's side, another tough loss this past weekend. What is the mood like in the locker room? Are the guys still holding it together?
Oh yeah, I mean they're a resilient group. They bounce back. We come in on Monday. We have the open discussion. We talk about what we liked from the game, what we didn't like from the game. Disappointed obviously on Saturday night for obvious reasons. I think just the way the results kind of played out with the late goal, feeling as though again we had chances to win it. So, I think you have to encourage the boys. Like, listen, be disappointed on Saturday, shake it up on Sunday. We'll come in on Monday, we'll dissect it, and then we just get back to work. And that's what we've done this week. And again, it's not a case of trying to, reinvent the wheel each week. It's get back to hard work, make the tweaks we need to tweak, fix the things we need to fix. We've looked at video from the game. We've started to talk about what Oakland are going to bring this weekend, and we go again. The thing is, like, our performances haven't been bad. If we were getting played off the park every week, then maybe you'd feel as though, listen, we got to change a lot of things here. It's not necessary. We don't need to change things drastically. We just, like I say, we have to keep trying to create more chances, take those chances when we get them, just not switch off in those key moments. The one thing we talked about this week was maintaining momentum. We felt as though we had momentum kind of in the first half, not really in the second half, but certainly in spurts. But I think just letting Monterey grow into that game and feel as though they had a chance. Again, the message this week is just don't give teams a chance to breathe. We know how hard it should be to come to Highmark and has historically been to come to Highmark. We have to keep feeding off that. We have to make it really uncomfortable, and we have to suffocate teams. And the more we do that, the more chances we'll get to win games. So that's the message. Again, the boys have responded well. They're training hard. So, we go again on Saturday.
Speaking of Saturday, the next opponent's head coach, Gavin Clinton, was just named the USL Coach of the Month. What are you guys expecting to see out of Oakland on Saturday?
Well, they're a good side. They're in good form. Obviously doing well up in the West. But, again, I don't think there's any team that we should fear, especially a Highmark. Sometimes when you go on the road, you may have to concede, a little bit of possession. You may have to concede a little bit of territory. But we feel in any of our home games that we should be able to play on the front foot, play in their half, get the ball forward quickly. And again, like I said before, suffocate teams, press them, win second balls. So again, that's the message this week, regardless of who our opposition is. We have to respect them. We have to look at who their dangerous players are. But again, we still believe that if we play our game to our, highest standard, then there's not a team in this league that we can't beat on our home patch.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, statistically, we are not far off. Goals against look good. It's really just putting the ball in the back of the net. So hopefully we can crack that nut this weekend and put a few away. Rob, I always appreciate the time and the conversation. Here's hoping that we can right the ship this weekend and get a much needed 3 points. Thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, Mike. Thanks.